What if I told you there's a single family that controls the fate of an entire continent, yet you've probably never even heard their name? A dynasty so powerful that they own stakes in everything from cutting-edge tech companies to global pharmaceutical giants, yet they operate from the shadows, avoiding the spotlight. They played both sides during World War II, funding Nazi Germany while one of their own became a hero for saving thousands of Jews. They control the economy, influence politics, and their tentacles reach into every corner of Europe. This family isn't just wealthy, they're powerful beyond belief. Their reach extends from the boardrooms of major corporations to the highest levels of government. They've maneuvered through the murky waters of wartime politics and emerged stronger than ever. Their empire is worth more than the world's richest man, Elon Musk. But why have they stayed hidden for so long? What are the dark secrets they don't want you to know? And how did they manage to remain so influential while avoiding the public eye? This is the story of the Wallenberg Empire. The Wallenberg dynasty's origins trace back to the 19th century, with Oscar André Wallenberg, a Swedish naval officer turned financial visionary. After witnessing financial instability during his time in the United States in the 1830s, Wallenberg returned to Sweden with a determination to modernize the Swedish banking system. At that time, Sweden's financial infrastructure was dominated by state-owned banks that were slow to adapt to the needs of the rapid industrializing nation. Wallenberg saw an opportunity to fill these gaps. In 1856, he founded Stockholm Enskilda Bank, or SEB, which revolutionized the Swedish banking system. SEB, which is still alive and well today, offered high interest rates on savings and used these deposits to fund burgeoning new industries. This innovative approach not only attracted a large number of depositors, but it also provided much needed capital to fuel Sweden's industrial growth. And one of their first major successes was financing the construction of Sweden's railway system. This massive project required substantial capital and of course carried significant risk. However, Wallenberg understood that a well-developed railway network would be essential for economic growth, enabling the efficient transport of goods and resources across the country. This strategic investment not only paid off financially, but it also positioned SEB as a crucial player in Sweden's economic development. As SEB's influence grew, so did the family's ambitions. André Oscar's sons, Knut and Marcus Wallenberg, continued to expand SEB's reach. They diversified the family's investments into various sectors, including manufacturing, mining, and shipping. This diversification strategy helped mitigate risks and ensured the Wallenberg family's financial empire was resilient against market fluctuations. But what does it take to turn a small bank into a financial powerhouse? The answers lie in their strategic foresight, willingness to take risk, and ability to adapt to changing economic conditions. For instance, during the financial crisis of 1878, SEB faced significant liquidity issues, but instead of retreating, the Wallenbergs saw this as an opportunity to strengthen their position. They restructured their investments, secured additional funding, and emerged from the crisis even stronger. This resilience would later become a hallmark of the Wallenbergs family's business strategy, allowing them to thrive both in good and bad times. And speaking of bad times, we can't forget the Wallenbergs' role during the Second World War, which was one of the most darkest periods in history for Europe and for the Wallenbergs. Raoul Wallenberg's bravery is pretty well documented. In 1944, he was sent to Budapest as a representative of the War Refugee Board, a US government agency. There, he utilized his diplomatic status and the resources of the Swedish government to create a network of safe houses and distribute Swedish protective passports, which granted Jews protection from deportation. These passports were known as Schutzpasses and effectively placed their bearers under Swedish protection and helped save countless lives. Despite his eventual arrest by Soviet forces and mysterious disappearance, Raoul's legacy remains a beacon of courage and of humanity. However, while Raoul was busy risking his life to save others, SEB was facilitating financial transactions for the Nazis, acting as a conduit for funds that supported the German war effort. SEB managed the assets of Jewish families who were forced to deposit their wealth under duress. These funds were then used to finance critical industries for the Nazis, including weapons production and other war-related research such as nuclear bomb research. Yeah, that's right, a Swedish family were critical in helping the Nazis research the atomic bomb. But this sounds like normal banking stuff, right? You're moving money from here to there, the Swiss did the same, and even the US. But SEB's role was more than just passive facilitation. It was active management and investments in industries crucial to the Nazi war machine. To protect vital companies from Allied confiscation, SEB assumed pseudo-ownership of foreign subsidiaries of major German firms, including Bosch and IG Farben. And you've probably heard of Bosch before, right? They make washing machines and some chemicals and stuff like that. But IG Farben might be a bit less known. What's important to know about IG Farben is that they made the chemicals used in the gas chambers in concentration camps like Auschwitz. And as if this wasn't bad enough, SEB also handled Aryanization processes, where Jewish-owned businesses were forcibly sold to non-Jewish buyers at a fraction of their value, and SEB played a critical role in these transactions, often benefiting from the undervaluation of these assets. The Wallenberg family's actions during World War II presents a deeply paradoxical picture. Raoul Wallenberg's courageous efforts to save Jews stands in stark contrast to SEB's financial dealings with the Nazi regime. And after the Second World War, the Wallenberg family emerged with even greater influence. They diversified their investments across various sectors, including telecommunications, industrial machinery, and pharmaceuticals. So by the 1970s, they controlled a significant portion of Sweden's economy and held substantial stakes in multinational corporations. But what did the Swedish government think of all this? Typically, governments don't like it when one family can control that much of a country's economy. The Wallenbergs were pretty clever, and to circumvent restrictive ownership laws, they established the holding company Investor AB in 1916. Investor AB became a critical tool for the Wallenberg family, allowing them to navigate around the restrictive laws that limited banks from holding long-term industrial investments. And this structure enabled the Wallenbergs to maintain their vast empire discreetly and efficiently. Through Investor AB, they managed their stakes in major companies like SKF, AstraZeneca, Norwegian Hydro, ABB, Saab, and even Ericsson. And Ericsson would go on to be a leading telecommunications company, which benefited from strategic investments that positioned it as a global leader in mobile technology. SKF is a world-renowned ball-bearing manufacturer that was essential to various industries worldwide, from car production to aerospace. And AstraZeneca, a pharmaceutical giant that became pivotal in global healthcare advancements and was even hugely important during COVID. All of these companies, under the influence of the Wallenbergs, have thrived and contributed to the Wallenberg family's expansive reach. Despite their immense power, the Wallenbergs have maintained a pretty low profile. They've rarely granted interviews and kept their philanthropic activities quiet. The Wallenberg Foundations, for instance, have donated billions to education, research, and culture. These foundations support a wide range of initiatives, from funding scientific research to promoting cultural heritage. However, these acts of generosity are often overshadowed by the family's insistence on privacy. This secrecy has fueled speculations about their true influence and intentions. And I mean, how positively can you talk about a family whose motto is esse non videre, meaning to be rather than to be seen? Critics argue that their low profile allows them to wield power without accountability. Their supporters, on the other hand, point to their significant contributions to society through philanthropy and innovation. The contrast between their public and private actions raises questions about the balance of power and responsibility. Today, the Wallenberg family continues to wield considerable power. Their investments are all managed through a network of foundations and holding companies, which ensures that their wealth is protected and perpetuated. These structures allow the family to diversify their holdings and minimize risk while maintaining control over their vast empire. So far, I've mentioned legacy businesses like ABB and SKF and even Ericsson, but what other technologies and industries have the Wallenbergs been investing in? The Wallenbergs are pretty forward-thinking in their approach, so they've invested in pharmaceuticals and genetics, and in renewable energy such as wind, solar, and other sustainable energy sources, and they've also invested in newer technologies such as 5G and AI. But knowing the Wallenberg family history, this probably didn't happen without any controversy, did it? Nope, because allegations of bribery and dealings with sanctioned entities have surfaced. For instance, Ericsson faced a significant scandal involving bribery to secure contracts in various countries, and investigations revealed that millions of dollars were paid to secure business in markets such as China and Indonesia, leading to hefty fines and legal scrutiny. And the worst part is that this isn't even the only time. Ericsson has also been fined for bribes in Iraq and Kuwait, and another Wallenberg company, Bofors, has been accused of corruption in India and Pakistan. But despite all of this, the Wallenberg Empire have continuously evolved and stayed relevant, ensuring growth and sustainability of their empire. One thing that's interesting to note is that they're involved in absolutely everything. From cars to telecom to weapons and AI, they're involved not only in emerging trends, but also old-style businesses that the world will never grow tired of. The Wallenberg dynasty exemplifies the complex interplay of power, secrecy, and influence. And their story is one of calculated risk and unwavering commitment to maintaining their position at the top of European business. They've created a resilient, though shadowy structure that ensures that their legacy endures, which avoids pitfalls that have plagued other wealthy dynasties. Their ability to operate in the shadows, maintaining secrecy while wielding immense power, sets them apart as one of the most intriguing dynasties of our time. The question, however, remains that how will their legacy evolve with modern challenges and increasing demands for transparency? No matter how this turns out, their journey from a small Swedish bank to a global powerhouse is a truly remarkable story. If you're interested in learning about another global powerhouse that isn't as controversial, check out this video on Red Bull, where we take you through how they make their money and also their founding story.